Hello ladies and gentlemen, MarauderEX here, back with more Let's Play Shining Force CD. Alright, so we are going to leave, and we are going to jump into... this is Battle 3? Yes, this is Battle 3, the construction. Alright, let's take a look and see what enemies we've got. We've got a sign here that looks like a typical Japanese sign for a construction site. Like, we're sorry for the mess, we're sorry for the inconvenience. Because it looks like a guy kind of, bowing. That looks like he's wearing one of the construction hard hats, like the goblins are wearing. Which is our first enemy. Goblin Pupil. HP of 55, attack of 56, defense of 35, agility of 20, movement of 5. He's carrying a hammer, but he doesn't actually have a hammer. Like, they have no weapons, so that's a little weird. And he's wearing the traditional construction hat that is known from the Mega Man series for the Metools, that makes them invincible. There are 5 of those guys hanging out through here, so keep that in mind. Next, we've got Dark Paladin, HP of 60, MP of 30, attack of 64, defense of 42, agility of 23, movement of 7. He's got boost 2 and a chrome lance. There are 4 of these guys throughout this fight, so that's going to be fun. Next up, we've got, that's another Dark Paladin, we've got the Metal Gunner, not to be confused with Metal Gear. HP of 47, attack of 59, excuse me, defense of 45, agility of 22, movement of 4, and what's different from these guys from previous gunners is they actually have a hypercannon. The other Shining Force CD gunner types do not have a cannon, they just had a range of 2. So now they actually have a hypercannon. They have the same range as our ranged units, so that makes them a threat. There are 2 of just these 2. Okay. We've got White Dragon, HP of 60, attack of 57, defense of 44, agility of 26, movement of 5. And as a dragon, they are a flying class, and they actually have an ice breath attack, so that's something to keep in mind. That's actually really dangerous at the moment. So, Archbishops, HP of 57, MP of 71, attack of 52, defense of 34, agility of 28, movement of 6, aura 3, boost 2, and a mystery staff that will regen 2 MP a turn. So, he needs to be taken out ASAP. Another magical annoyance, the Lich. There are also 2 dragons, 2 archbishops in this fight. That's the thing. Lich, HP of 63, MP of 72, attack of 51, defense of 31, agility of 24, movement of 6, bolt 3, dispel 1, also 2 MP a turn with their mystery staffs. There are 2 Liches as well. King Chimera, HP of 62, attack of 60, defense of 38, agility of 22, movement of 7. They also have a fire breath attack, so kind of a threat. They can kind of hit pretty hard. There are 2 King Chimeras. The others are, for the dragon and the chimera, are up there. And then, last but not least, Bulldor. HP of over 100, I believe it's 150. I'd have to check his HP bar. Attack of 66, defense of 45, agility of 31, movement of 5. He has a golden hammer equipped. That's a very unique weapon. Yeah, I'd say that's about 150. So, and then the treasures for this fight. There is listed a work glove, an angel wing, a chrome lance, another work glove, Kaiser knuckle, healing rain, mithril, power ring, and chirrup hammer. The things that I'm actually interested in are the chrome lance, the Kaiser knuckle, the healing rain, and the power ring, which the chrome lance is in this crate here. The numbers are actually transposed. On the guide it says 1021, but it should be 2110, because the second number should be the number of times you go upwards, not to the left. So that would be up 10 over 20, unless they said up 10 over 21, which is what I would expect it to be, but that's not it. And then there is the Kaiser glove, or Kaiser knuckle is in the bucket of red paint. The power ring is in the chest in the upper right, and the healing rain is on the second archbishop. Everything else is kind of hit or miss. I don't care if I get it. It's not a threat. The work gloves don't have any sort of purpose, really. They don't have any stat boost. I don't know what they're for. Same with the mithril. The chirp hammer just has a special noise. It bonks. I don't think it actually has increased damage. And then one thing that's going to happen in this fight is once we get to a certain point, Bulldor and his troops are going to use this giant pile of wood here to finish this wall, and it's going to make a very specific, and this, I believe it's this wood as well. They're going to make a very specific choke point that we're going to have to deal with. So, in the meantime, we are going to kind of split our force up a little bit and get some treasures. Like I said, I'm not focusing on getting everything. There are some things that I want to get, but for the most part, I am going to just go through the fight, get the ones that I'm aiming to get is what I'm trying to say. I just realized I think I put my heroes on the wrong side, but I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to split my force up evenly, because I've got basically 2 of everything. I've got 2 hero classes, I've got 2 healers, I've got 2 archers, 2 birdmen. I can split one side with the same type of party, which is a rather balanced party, sans the fact that I don't have any offensive spellcasters. I'm going to go ahead and search that crate as well, and we get a work glove. That's one of the work gloves, okay. So, yeah. And this is actually something that I've noticed, that it's a common theme in my strategy. This is actually almost exactly how I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to have a very specific deck that was... Also, I don't know if you noticed just there, when it was Bulldor's turn to move, there was a straight line with no options to move in these areas, because those are actually blocked off by the wall. So, like, the computer cannot put him there because that's where it's going to be blocked off. So, just keep that in mind, that's the tell that there's going to be a change to the battlefield. As I was saying, playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I had a very specific theme, which was jack of all trades. I didn't play, like, I didn't go for, like, your typical beatdown deck. I didn't go for, you know, a themed deck. I wanted to be able to do something on any turn. I didn't want to have to wait to try and have something build to. I wanted to be able to do something. I felt if I wasn't doing something every turn, I wasn't maximizing my efficiency. So I didn't base around like having a bunch of high-end monsters. I didn't base around, you know, magic or anything that could be easily counterable. It was I had a mix of certain types of enemies or certain types of monster cards, to where it's like they had functionality of, yes, they can work as a beatdown type, but for the most part it's also aiming to do this. Like most beatdown decks at the time, and this is probably going to age me, or date me rather. was the 4-star 1900s was when everything was starting to come into that. So like Gemini Elf was huge, and it was a secret rare, so you know, it's rare, it's expensive, it's sought after, it's functional, because you know some secret rares are just pointless. Serpent Knight Dragon for one, it was like, yes, it's a neat but it's pointless. Its attack is, oh, please tell me you're not gonna kill Slade. Oh, okay, thank you. Because I'm pretty sure he might actually be able to kill Slade. So, that's good. So yeah, like, everyone's like, play with 3, like, everyone in my local tournament scene had 3 Gemini Elves, and then had any other 4-star 1900 attack creatures you could. I would play with 2 Gemini Elves, and then like I'd play with 2 other types of 4-star 1900s, ones that had trade-offs. One of my favorite was Spear Dragon. It was a 4-star 1900 and 0 defense, and it was one of those that when it attacked, it would automatically shift into defense, and like that's, you know, it had a high attack for a 4-star, and it had a low defense, but its thing was it could also attack through defense. So if it attacked someone who was in defense position, you would still do damage calculation as normal. If for those of you who remember, like the Fairy Meteor Crush, and so that was their trade-off. It's like, oh well, it's, you know, it's dangerous because, you know, they have a high attack but no defense. So if they go against one of them themselves, like if your opponent has one as well, like you attack and do some damage, but your opponent can attack and do 1900 points of damage. That was the trade-off. That was what it sought to do. But I had 2 of them because it's like, okay, that's, you know, it's an interesting thing. It helps me go against defensive type decks. People who like throw a lot of monsters, or, you know, a lot of monsters face down defense, you know, a lot of flip summon monsters, things like that. It helped against those. Because it allowed me to still do damage. And that was the goal, was still being able to do some damage. So like that was my deck theme, was always being able to do something. And that's kind of how this is carried over to this. I have what I've, quote, perceived as my perfect team for this, for my play style. I've got a hero, a melee unit, a flyer, a healer, a backup healer, backup damage dealer, and a long-range unit. That is my perfect team in this game, because Magic is kind of wonky, and so like I you know, in any other Shining game where I could switch out, you know, I might switch out one of the flyers for like a magic or the flyers for magic users, like offensive magic users. So I have some AoE support, but like this is my perfect team in this, and it's just doubled. I've got a hero, backup damage dealer, healer, flyer, healer, melee unit, ranged unit. It's the same team, and that's the thing. Like that's what really entertains me about it. It's like that's my play style, and it's just really amusing to see that play style carries over between so many different types of strategy game. Is that this is my layout. This is what I do. Alright, so enough turns have passed, so Bulldor is going to wall everything up, and that's going to make things a little difficult, because as you can see, they've got the wall, which makes an exceptionally obnoxious choke point on the center here. We can send flyers over crates, so I can send flyers over. I am going to need to send a flyer over to this crate because that chest there is the power ring. So I'm going to have to send a flyer over there. Otherwise, we have to send people through this choke point or around. And then we have to try to make through Bulldor to get the treasure chest. So I'm trying to get some XP with my flyers early on in this fight so that I can make use of them. Because otherwise, they're not going to be as... Otherwise, they're going to fall behind. Alright, not what I need. I probably should have sent Randolph on this side because that's where the Chrome Lance is. Alright, I just want him dead. I don't really need Shade to be any higher than he is level-wise, but I don't care at this point. I'm not moving Sarah any farther up. I am, however, going to move Randolph. Alright. Attack the Archbishop. The Archbishop needs to die. And Randolph pretty much making that happen. Oh, I kind of wish I didn't have... well, I'm actually kind of glad because otherwise... Alright, Icy Breath. That hurts. I need to heal Cray. That's what Sarah's going to do. And in the meantime, I'm going to have Nick attack a white dragon. That dragon hurts. And I'll have Claude go there. Alright, who still needs... Yaha took a little bit of damage. Shriek has a little bit of damage. And I'm going to be very careful about moving forward because the Lich has Bolt 3, and that's a choke point that he has access to. So, like, I'm very, very uncomfortable with that. Alright, let's... Shriek gets the Chrome Lance. Alright, so that's about as far up as I'm going to move everyone on that side. So, like, we'll get everyone to there. Alright, I really don't want to do this because I really want the Arch... Well... I have a feeling this is not the brightest of moves, but... I'm gonna do it anyway. And... It's not going to be the brightest moves, because I guarantee you Sarah's not going to get a turn before the Bishop is, and he's going to heal himself. That's what's going to happen. Isn't it? I see this happening. And then... Okay, at least Nick's getting attacked, and not my Master Monk. That means I'm still kind of... shafted at the moment. Alright, let's go ahead and attack the Goblin Pupil. Decent damage there. That's okay. Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, that's wonderful, because I can actually... It's not the best use of MP, but it gets a kill. That gets a kill. And she'll recover some MP, so that's okay. Alright, I don't really need another kill with Nick. I'm gonna heal Cray. There we go. Mostly because I'm very antsy about his HP value at the moment. Let's see. 29... I guess it really doesn't matter. Let's get the Angel Wing just so that we have it. Alright. I'm really, really, really cautious about this choke point, because he's so so close. I don't like it. I want to see if I can attract his attention to the group on the right, so that I can pull him away from the choke point. That's my goal. But I'm actually about out of time for this episode, so I'm going to go ahead and go and end here, and I will see you all in the next installment, where hopefully I don't screw up this fight. So, yes, I think we're making progress. I think it's all right. So, till then, later, everyone.